Okay. I think we are live. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to check this down here. And if you are here, do drop a comment down below. I'm just checking to see if it's actually working. Everything's good. I think we're live. I'm just going to check 2 seconds. Check that. So if you guys have got comments, questions, drop them down below, and obviously I will answer them. So 2 seconds. I'm just checking this. It's fine. Move that. When your camera's a bit off angle, that's a bad thing, isn't it? If you guys have got questions, drop them down below. I promise you I will get them answered. I have a track record of pretty much getting through everything. So we are live now. We've got a couple of people on. I've got some comments coming in. We are live. Hey, Adrian. Thank you so much. Right. Give me 2 seconds. You are live. I just want to check it. Guys, if you've got a comment, drop it down below. I'm thinking it'll be helpful. Let's give you a little update on my journey so far. Obviously it's a new month. Everyone loves a good new month, and oh my god, we're so close. USA, so close. Check this out. I need to get it off my manager. He shares it. So check this out. 1 second. There's that. There you go. Can you see that? 962. That's a screen share from my manager. So really good. So check that out. That's good. So I think for you is, oh, here we go. Got a question come in. I'm banned on 2 UK accounts. Still want to continue Amazon, but I'll be able to do it in the USA marketplace. Is that UK Amazon selling accounts, or is it like supplier accounts? But the reason why I asked the question, because you like a good friend of mine, Seth, he does books. He's banned in the UK and he can still sell in the US. So you can definitely do that. But I don't know why you're banned in 2 UK. So like Amazon might have updated its terms and conditions, but obviously you're banned in 2. So they might reserve the right. But as far as I'm aware, if you've got like Seth is suspended in the UK, like you can't sell in the UK, but he can sell in the US and he's been doing it for a long time now. So as far as I'm aware, you should be fine. Amazon's terms and conditions might be affected. So Aiden, I think that's right. You should be fine. Let me know. Like, I think it's selling accounts. Hello, Turtle Bay. Hello, comments down below. Let me know your questions. Amma, hi, fantastic. You mentioned 2 Amazon UK selling accounts. Yeah, fine. So long story short is, I believe, I don't know the terms and conditions, but from what I know from other people who have been banned, like my friend's banned in the UK, but he can still sell in the US and he does 7 figures now in the US. So, and he was banned like 4 years ago. So I think you'd be fine, but just, try opening it. But I would probably recommend like, well, I don't know. I'm not saying I'd recommend because I don't really know the thing, but like use different bank account details, maybe form a company, like completely different company in the US just to create it. That would be my thought. So you're trying to create separation as much as possible, but I'm guessing even the ID, like they're going to track you through like your name and your date of birth and your email address maybe. So like try and make sure everything as much as possible is different, like from your UK account. Even the IP address you log in, like maybe use a VPN all the time you log into the Amazon account. Set up a new virtual PC, something like that. Like the less connection you can have to your other accounts probably is going to help you out. That's it. Like, I'm not saying even like that will help you. I've got 4 accounts and they've all under the same passport. So if one wanted to be closed down, they could close the other ones down, but I'm not sure. So I think just trying to separate them as much as possible, that'd be really helpful. Marianne, hello Thomas. If starting as a new seller on online arbitrage, what categories would you recommend? Those unrestricted categories. So honestly, search my YouTube channel. There are so many videos we've done this. Like, if I was a new seller today, what categories would I look at? I do talk about like the best ungated categories to start in. I'd really research. Off the top of my head, I don't know the answer because obviously we're not a new seller. But I think it might be things like DIY, sports and outdoor. Don't do all the popular ones like toys, beauty. They're all gated. Like you're gonna have real struggling. You might even do reverse sourcing. Like if I were you as a new seller, I'd probably look at doing reverse sourcing. So rather than anything like, and when you're doing reverse sourcing, go look at storefront stalking as well. So find categories, find brands that you can sell, reverse source them for the supplier, and then you probably do storefront stalking for similar sellers who are on the same listing as you that you keep spotting, because they'll probably be new as well. And again, you're probably going to be looking at like, should we say sellers who have got less than 100 sales, like, like 10 to 50 reviews are probably the ideal storefront stalking because they've just getting started and they'll probably have to have the new products as well. So that might help you out. Manza, hello. Hey, cool. Mark, would you say it is a reasonable plan? What did you say? Mark, I can't see the rest of your question. I don't really know. Mark, let me know your question down below, and obviously I can answer it for you. Ross P, 1 of 2. Hi, Ross. Yeah, I can see the second bit coming already. Hi, Ross. I hope you're well. I didn't realize it, but I've been paying VAT on fees since I started Amazon in May, even though I'm not VAT registered. However, registered as an individual when I first seller. Let's jump over to point 2. So does this mean I'm able to reclaim the VAT on fees I've been paying since the VAT registered as a sole trader? And since registered as a VAT as sole trader and not being charged VAT on the fees in the future. Yeah, long story short, if you want to know, if you've just started registering, if you've just registered as VAT registered, you can claim back VAT on the cost of goods you currently hold in your inventory, and also as well, you can claim back the VAT on the services you've paid for the last 6 months. So to speak with your accountant, you should be able to claim it back. If not, there is a way of going back to Amazon about claiming it back from them, even if you're still not VAT registered now. So Ross, I hope that answers your question. Let me know down below if it does, and obviously I will. I can give you a bit more detail. But long story short, HMRC guidance says at the point of VAT registration, you can claim back services for 6 months and the VAT on the cost of goods that you currently hold in inventory. Again, check with your accountant, but you should be fine. Facebook user, currently doing wholesale in the UK, and I've just done your 30-minute VA consultation. Looks great. How easy can it be done to train your VA for wholesale? So fantastic, great. So long story short is, we don't officially do VAs for wholesale. They're not trained, they're trained for OA. But if you think about OA and wholesale, they're the same, like reviewing the deals. The only bit you won't use is like going to OA stores. But really going to give them like deal sheets and say, please review these. So really, that's not too challenging. And obviously we're doing this kind of like back of house, so we're not doing it. My advice to you is get one of our OA VAs, and you're going to have to train them in your wholesale process, like the deal review. So spend like an hour or two once they finish the training with us, just going through how you do deal analysis for wholesale, like how you review a sheet, and actually go through it for 2 hours. Let them watch you ask questions. Maybe an hour you do it yourself, and then an hour watch them. And the one thing which I'd really say, especially around wholesale, is that we generally do the wholesale deal analysis at like a 5 or 10% reduction on the cost price we're seeing. And then we'll do it profitability-wise there. And then we'll look at like, if the price was right, could we get the volume to make it a discount worthwhile? Like we always assume that the wholesale price, what we're seeing is never the price we'll pay. We'll be able to negotiate a small discount on it if the price is right. But you've got to do that in advance. So that's the only other thing that we'll probably do. And then also as well for them to do speed. So like when they're doing their analysis, if it's over a certain sales rank, don't even bother doing the analysis. Like skip, because wholesale sheets could just be there forever. So and I think the final thing which I'd probably say for you is to find the measure of success. So like how many deals per hour do you want them to analyze? Like you do that, how many deals per hour can you analyze? And then set them that goal. And that's what you're really looking for. You're looking deals per hour that are analyzing, because it's really a very laborious process. You can't guarantee how many good deals they're going to find because you want the whole sheet done. So that's going to be your measure of success, as opposed to on the VA Academy, you talk about good deals found. You can't guarantee you're going to find good deals on a wholesaler, but you can guarantee how many deals they can analyze. That's what you're looking for. So I hope that makes sense. Bless you. My girlfriend just sneezed, so I need to say bless you. Right. Turtle Bay question. It's hard to find an area where I'm not gated. Do you know any ungated items which I can sell with ease? I'm selling cosmetics, but I want to sell more. Any appreciated? Do reverse sourcing, go into different categories. Reverse sourcing, talked about that. The other one I'd say is if you're in the UK, Harrison's Direct, give them a call, get yourself ungated. The other one is there's search YouTube channel for like how to get ungated. And then EE distribution in the US, they're the other one that you might want to use. Don't try and buy products from Harrison's or EE that you're going to make a profit on. Solely buy it to break even and get the product sold. So fast selling items that you can break even on. That's it. Like think of it as like you can go pay a service right now, $300, $500 to get ungated in something, and then you've got to buy the goods and you're going to lose money on them. Or you can go directly to Harrison's or EE, buy something for $500, sell it, get your $500 back after, and pay nothing. So it's free. So like you're getting like. Don't try and make profit on the ungated items. That's where everyone goes wrong. So I hope that makes sense, Turtle Bay. Let me know down below. Manza, Adrian, please, some awesome online retail sourcing for your online arbitrage. Yeah, have a look on our YouTube website. We do the top 100 lists, top 100 UK, top 100 US. That really helps out. Who we got now? Zia. Can you teach me product hunting tips and techniques, please? I want to get trained with you. I don't do training necessarily myself. My team do. Look at our YouTube channel, go to playlist, and you'll do Sourcing 101. Check that out. That's all the sourcing techniques we use within our business and train on. You can just watch them, train yourself. My God, save you the money. £500, $600 to have an hour with me. I don't think you want to pay that, especially not for sourcing. You do it for free. Daryl, can you get banned from cancelling orders? I've had to cancel some orders because of listing errors. Yeah, possibly. Okay, so if you've listed products on Amazon, merchant fulfilled, and you've got to cancel them, yeah, you're going to have what's known as a high cancellation rate. That is going to cause you a problem, and you'll probably go into the red if you're doing too many. If you're talking about, that's on Amazon, yes, be careful. If you're talking about a supplier, if you're doing a couple, you might be okay. But if you're doing it all the time, yeah, the supplier will probably ban you because they don't want to see a lot of like, oh my God, they're looking at metrics, and their metrics like which customer keeps canceling lots of orders. Oh, it's this Daryl guy. Oh, he looks like he's reselling. Ban his account, done. So that will happen. So just be mindful. So I hope that makes sense. Ross P, I've got back to you. Let me know down below if that helps. Adrian. I'm sorry if I get that wrong. Would I still be able to send UK if I use my mum's name for an account? Look, at the end of the day, if there's a different person on the account, but it's logging in from the same physical computer, same IP address, like same things, the more things you have connected to your old account, the more likelihood that Amazon is going to connect them and then shut that account down as well. My advice to you is just go to USA. Go to USA, do it over there. I think you'd be much better. There's good margins over that. And you've got to separate. If by the way, let's be crystal clear. It's not like you've had one account banned, you've had two banned now. Obviously, I'm guessing you probably weren't being stupid, but you weren't doing something good enough that you could keep the second account live while the first account was banned. So as a result, whatever you were doing wasn't good enough, and now you want to go create one in your mum's name. The name alone won't do it. I promise you that. If it's the same account, same IP, same computer, same IP, you'll get caught. I promise you that. Amazon are pretty hot on this. Why? Because they care about the customer experience. And if you're ruining the customer experience because you're being banned, that's one of their metrics, i.e. banned accounts equal very, very bad customer experience. Anyone who's got a banned account will link them, shut them down. And your problem comes is Amazon doesn't have to prove that your account is linked. They just have to believe that it is. It's kind of like, in law, you're innocent until proven guilty. In Amazon, especially around banned accounts, you're guilty until you can prove you're not linked to that account. That's the way it works. And obviously, even if you get suspected of it and they shut you down, you could never disprove it. So you're basically building a business on quicksand. I wouldn't do it. Go sell in the USA. That'd be my advice. Dominic Wegg, hi Tom. Is selling books in the UK still a good way to start on Amazon? You can definitely do it. I know USA, the US is better for book selling if you want to know. Secondhand books, much better. Big market over there. UK is a lot smaller. The top bookseller I know in the US, they're not interested in the UK. They just don't think it's worth the effort. So it kind of gives you an idea of the market. I think the US is where you want to be for books. Adam, hey Adam. Obviously, I see all your messages, so thank you so much. I like these every week. It gives some structure to the week, and they're also very motivating. Yeah, high five. Woohoo! I love that. So yeah, thank you for joining. Obviously, ask questions down below. I'm a VA for 2 years. I love OA and I'm kind of good at it. Do you guys hire part-timers? We don't, unfortunately. We only do full-time. But I'm sure you could probably find someone if you've done 2 years and I'd probably not say you're kind of good. Hopefully you're good after 2 years. If you're not, I'd be questionable. But yeah, I'm sure you could find someone. Lots of people do take on part-time VAs. Zishan Ali. Hello, I'm grateful to have you as my mentor. Cool. I'm not really mentoring. I'm just kind of answering questions, but good. Thank you for joining, asking questions. It was always been thrilling and motivating to hear you. Oh, fantastic. Hey, good luck, whatever you're doing. Absolutely fantastic. Keep going, smashing it. Success takes hard work. 99% of the problem. Dominic Webb, how long after I start FBA can I send my first invoice to get ungated? My top tip for you, I'd probably really recommend doing £1,000 or $1,000 in sales or revenue. The reason is if you think about the gating process is to stop people selling products that they shouldn't be selling, i.e. fakes, and Amazon are aware of that. So what they're looking for is, number one, you can prove that you're buying legitimate goods. But if you've got no history of selling and you've got a legitimate good invoice, then they'll probably be like, we still don't have any evidence this guy actually sells anything. So we probably want to see some track record of sales. And in particular, we're looking at £1,000 as a good metric to kind of think about. So hit 1,000 revenue, get your first invoice, get that in, you should be okay. Not guaranteed, that's just what I think. I think you need some sales. Because I know people who have done legit invoice at 0 fails, not worked. So get some sales in. Zisham Ali, in this time when there is so much supply chain issues, what method can you suggest successfully? Just keep hustling. There's always supply chain issues. My God, there's been supply chain issues for the last 3 years. COVID's had a massive problem, but people are making millions. Absolutely, we did 3.2 million in the last 12 months. There's always supply chain issues. Keep finding a way. By the way, it's not like we're doing some method that we don't talk about. We're still doing the same methods we've always talked about. We're just like tweaking them, adapting them, like it's the same stuff. Do that. Sourcing 101 playlist, trust me. Marianne, thank you, Thomas. Cool. Thank you for joining the 1% Club. The 1% Club. Cool. Do you have any tips for scaling when you add another VA? Anything specific to look at when you add to your team? Yeah, I think top tips. So obviously we do fasttrackfba.com/VA down here. If you guys are looking for a virtual assistant, now is the time you want it, by the way. Q4. fasttrackfba.com/VA. That's it, Q4. You're looking for it down there. Now, quick thing for you is you can book in a free 30-minute call with our team, and obviously they can answer all these questions like scaling tips and stuff. So do that. It's a free call, 30 minutes, hire your own VA. Q4, you need it now. So why do I say like you want it now? A couple of things I'd consider. Cash in the bank, i.e. like credit cards, cash in the bank, available spend, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be like physical cash. It can be like, I'm not using my credit card to the most. Between $4,000 minimum and £10,000 or dollars. $4,000 minimum, £10,000. Why? Because you've got to buy deals today, ship them in, wait for them to get sold, 14 days for the money back, get the cash, pay the VA off, and then keep a bit of the difference of the profit, and then continue the process. That's why. Number one, available cash. Number two, obviously, you should be profitable. Number three, in your business. So number three is going to be an hour a week, hour a day for the first like month, if not 2 months, to spend with the VA to support them. If you don't have that, don't bother. It's not like if you're so busy you can't spend time with them, helping train them, support them, tweaking them, getting them right to your sourcing methodology, not worth it. Do that. And then final ones, what do I recommend? Just kind of understand what you're doing, like how your business works when scaling your team. Yeah, so it's really time and money. They're the two big metrics you're going to be thinking about. Also, as well, if we talk about it takes 3 months to get a VA up to scratch, like 3 months. That's why we're saying now Q4. You need to do it now. Why? Because if you hire a VA today, they're not going to be outputting like lots and lots of great deals within day one. No, my God, they've got to they're going to know what they're doing, but they've got to get better. They're practicing. Also, as well, your methodology, your systems, the way you work, you source what deals you want takes time to practice and refine and get better. 3 months, 90 days, we always called it. Number two, or should you say the next part on that is metrics, measures of success. What do we expect? So from the VA Academy down here, fasttrackfba.com/VA, is month one, 2 to 5 deals per day that you can buy, that you're buying. That's the important point. You're buying them on average, 2 to 5 deals per day that you're buying. Month two, 5 to 8 deals per day that you're buying. Month three, 8 to 10. But really, you're looking at spend 1,333 per week on deals that you're buying. That's the important metric. We give you loads of aftercare support, all weekly calls for you as a client to help your leadership skills in that fasttrackfba.com/VA. Very, very important. Check that out. I think you'll love it. But 1% Club, hope that helps you out. Let me know down below if that's helpful. FBA TV, the man himself. Cool. Thank you. Obviously, you're here. Thank you for joining. Hit the thumbs up. Everyone loves a good thumbs up. Well, hey. Next one. Right. Vilnius. Is Lego one of the most profitable sellers? Or is Lego one of the most profitable selling items? I doubt it. I think it's profitable, but I doubt it, because it's kind of like if everyone's telling you to do something, it's probably not. The most profitable ones that no one knows about. That's why they're profitable, because there's less competition. Mark Arthur, hi. Is it a reasonable plan? I know you'll probably depend on what your long-term goals are. Start at home, then straight to prep center rather than find your own storage. Scroll down. Mark 2, worried that prep center adds too many costs, but going to own storage. Yes, you're right. Mark, you can definitely do it. I pretty much did it. Long story, we definitely did it in the US. I can't do it outside. I couldn't do it in the US on my own. Long story short is you are looking for, let's do it this way. You want cash. The more cash you've got, the better this works. If I'm going to have to get £5,000 to £10,000, if you've got £5,000 to £10,000 straight to prep, fine. If you're less than that, I probably would do it yourself. And the reason, and also as well, if you're limited in time, going to a prep center is really good. I did a coaching call once with a guy. What was really interesting, he was prepping like 300 units a month, and he had his own like a prep, not prep center. He had like a storage unit. He was paying like £360 a month for the storage unit, prepping 300 units. And when we did and obviously what we worked out was that it's costing him £1.10 per unit to prep. And also he had to spend the labor doing it and the boxing and the labor and the other stuff. So it's kind of like just to have the prep center, the prep unit was £1.10. Whereas if you went with the prep center, he's the most expensive, like 80p. So he could have saved the time, saved the money, been more effective by using a prep center from the get-go, but he didn't. He used an outsourced prep kind of facility. I think if you're prepping at home, that's generally the cost effective. If you're looking at hiring a unit to do prep, might not work. Prep center might be more beneficial. Just because the cost per unit doesn't really work out. Do the analysis. Hope that makes sense, Mark. Manza, agent presented calling the brands to open a wholesale account, but they're not accepting new sellers. That's cool. Yeah, it does happen. Yeah, move on. Find someone who does want new sellers. Yeah, you're presently calling brands to open for a wholesale account, but they're not accepting new sellers. Yeah, I get that. Daniel, when sourcing books, if the keeper chart shows drops per month, or you have to estimate a sale showing with seller amp, does that sales amp refer to new books? Or I think it would be new, only new. Your sales rank is all on the new. You'd have to contact keeper. Al Carton at seller amp might be able to help you out, but I think it's only new. It's not used. Don't quote me. I think. I don't know the answer. I'd probably ask in a book sourcing, because if you're doing used books, then obviously that's going to have them. But then there is metrics around it. I don't know. Perhaps you'd need to do some research in the sales rank for used. How sales ranks calculated, and does it include used? It probably does, because the bookseller I know uses it, but it's a complex one. I'd probably ask in a book selling group. They will know the answer more than I will. Like I'm not hot on that. I'm sorry. Like I want to be honest with you. In Google, I'm paying 40% VAT. Wow, as my day job. So if I open up as a sole trader, do I pay more seller fees? But if you're paying 40% VAT, that's only 20%. So I don't know why you're paying so much. But if you're paying 40% income tax, sole trader won't change that. It's still technically classified as personal income. You'd have to do. Look, my advice for you is I would go speak to an accountant, because, like, number one, what you're telling me straight away isn't right. VAT is 20% in the UK or even the EU. There's no country in the EU which is 40% VAT. I know that for a fact. I believe, like 99% sure. So what I'm reading is that perhaps maybe you don't understand what you're talking about, not in a negative way, but like trying to say constructively, there could be something that you're just not understanding. I would go speak to a professional, go speak to an accountant. fasttrackfba.com/tools. You'll see our accountants and all the tools we use. Like it's like e-commerce accountants. You'll see the ones we use. You can book a free call with them. Just ask them the question. They'll probably tell you the answer, and they'll be able to help you out. So really check that, and I think that'd be really able to support you. So yeah, like speak to a professional. That'd be my advice. Just because what you're saying is like so far off from what I think is right that perhaps maybe there'll be a lot of other things you might not understand. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. I generally want you to get the right information, and I can't do it over a YouTube live. Speaking to an accountant will help you. Mark, I've done you. That's cool. Manzo, can you please come sit on how to open a wholesale account as a new seller? We don't really do much in wholesale. We just call them up, set up a business. My ops manager does it. My advice, like I can't really say like right now, I don't really do it. Follow like Amazon Lit or Watch Me Amazon. They're the best kind of people. Like that'd be my advice. Like, but once you've got the account, you're fine. It doesn't mean it's gonna be profitable. Ross P coming down. Yeah, I'm hoping I can claim the VAT and fees back. This would be quite a bit of money. I haven't actually got an accountant yet, but they've been contacting Amazon to try and get back to them for future VAT refund. Yeah, long story short, it doesn't really work. Like if I kind of just clarify how VAT works. So number one is you will give Amazon your VAT number. Right now, you're paying VAT in the UK. So they're charging it, and you'll see it because you'll have on your invoices. It'll have a GB. So like when you look at your invoices from Amazon, it'll say like VAT details GB. The VAT number for Amazon will start with GB. When you give them the VAT number, they'll now transfer the billing from England GB over to Luxembourg, and you now get charged at 0% VAT. So it kind of is a weird reverse charge thing. You can research it if you want. It's called reverse charge VAT. So read about that. Doesn't really matter. Your accountant will tell you. But then the other one is you've already paid the VAT, and you can prove it by having the invoice from Amazon for the last 6 months. Every month you're going to see the VAT numbers, and then all you do is you just go into your Xero accounting software, and all the seller fees you had in the last 6 months, you just now code them to VAT. What's going to happen is on your first VAT return, Xero will add up all the amount you paid on the VAT in the last 6 months, and then also as well how much you owe now, and it will deduct them, and you should get a refund in your first VAT return for all the VAT you paid. Xero will do it. You don't actually go to Amazon and get the money from them. You get the money from the government because you can prove that you've paid it. The accountant will explain that. Do fasttrackfba.com/tools. Go to our accountants. They do the free 30-minute call. Have a chat with them. They'll help you out. They're e-commerce accountants. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense, Ross. Give me a good thumbs up. The 1% club. So I'm just going to have some water. Do you think it's better to use Scan Unlimited on Wholesale or manually source on Wholesale websites? I've tried Scan, but some wholesalers don't have price lists, and Scan Unlimited give mismatches. Scan Unlimited, any software will always give mismatches. That's the fact of it. I hate to say it. It will always happen. Number two is the fact that, that will happen. And then number three is what you're really looking at is, I think you've got, like, at the end of the day, your measure of success is number of good deals per hour found through your wholesaler. So you've got to test and optimize the good wholesale strategies. So find a wholesaler you already know right now, which has deals in it. Go use the Scan Unlimited method. Find out how many deals per hour you find. Then go do the manual method and find out how many good deals you find. And then try and create a blended approach and do that method on the same wholesaler. And what you're trying to look for is, like, what's the most efficient? Like, how many gives me the most number of deals per hour found? And it might be the case that you do like a two-stage process. It might be the case that, look, we get the CSV, or even we scrape the website, we run it through Scan Unlimited. If we get more than like 5 matches in the first hour of doing it that kind of work out, then we'll go back through it and do a partial kind of like spot check on manual. And if we get more than 20 matches, then we'll go back and do a full manual scan. Like, this is just the stages of reviewing it. But like, if the first one comes out with like 2 good matches, like, it might not be worth it. But like 2 per 1,000, for example. Again, think about like a process. You're really trying to find that process, because this isn't like, and the reason why you want to test it on one wholesaler is because that method works on that wholesaler, and you're trying to optimize for number of deals found per hour worked, labor cost, using X method. So if you can do it, if you can try 3 methodologies through the same wholesaler, you're going to optimize for the number of deals found. And then the net result comes is that when you apply those same methodologies in that process to new wholesalers, you're statistically likely to find more deals. And then, like, every month or every week or so, you just go back and you retest your methods on a new wholesaler to see if they're still valid. What you've got to understand is that there is no one perfect way. There's no one perfect software. You're trying to find the most efficient way. And what you might find is that, hey, once we placed our first order, and if we place a big enough order with a supplier and they give us a discount, then we go back and do a full manual scan of that anyway, because we're now using the wholesaler. I hope that makes sense. It's a process. There's no like one perfect way. Hope that makes sense. Amaji, how do you deal with that in the UK? I pay for it and log it on Xero and reclaim it back when it's due, and obviously pay what I due on it. Normally we pay that, not claim it back. Hope that makes sense. Is it worth start selling in the UK? Yeah, I think it's definitely worth start selling in the UK. If I had the choice between UK and US, I'd probably choose the US, but that's just my choice. Do Fast Track FBA courses, fasttrackfba.com, go up to resources and then courses. We have it costs £97, getting started in the USA. It documents everything that I did, why I did it, as like creating an Amazon selling account online as a foreign national within the US. Everything, bank accounts, prep centers, the lot, how we did it, why we did it, even tax considerations. Check that out. I think you like it. Let's go through. Bruno, hey Tom, I love the weekly lives. My question is, hey, thank you for the thing. On accounting, would I need an actual accountant as well if I do the accounting myself using Xero and Avatar? Long story short is you don't need an accountant. Like, if you feel confident in what you're doing and you're happy, you don't actually need an accountant. The one thing which would just kind of add to this, and like kind of like my advice, so if you're not going to use accountant, Xero and definitely something like Link My Books or A2X, definitely need that. Do not try and pull in the reports from Amazon directly. Like, you want to shoot yourself. It's not worth it. You need Link My Books or A2X. Trust me, you need it. Like, it's £30 a month. Pay for it. Even if you get an accountant, they're going to make you pay for it, because it's so key to bringing in the Amazon data onto your accounting software. Then also you can do everything else on Xero. Absolutely fine. Now, my 2 kind of thoughts are, in regards to accountants, I think the way I view the problem is, what value do I bring to the Amazon marketplace and to my business? I know how to find products, to sell them, to make money. That's great. And that's where I want to focus all my energy on. Now, around my business, call it prep and accounting, I have areas of weakness. I want to pay for experts to make sure that those areas are covered. I.e., not just like they do it, but like when there are changes, when things need to happen, like Amazon changed the prep requirements, or the accounting requirements, or the government changes it, I don't need to think about it. Like, these guys I'm paying to solve those problems. They are the experts within my business, and their job is to stay up to date. So I view my accountants as part of my team, but not necessarily part of my directly employed, like my staff. They are external consultants, experts who who are there to help me, advise me, and to make sure that I'm always crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and that allows me to focus all my energy on where I add value. Accounting, prep, I don't add value, nor can I really save too much money. And also the hours worked wouldn't be worth it. That's the way I kind of see it. Yes, you can do it yourself. Yes, you don't need an accountant. It's absolutely fine. Would I still recommend getting one? Yeah, 100%. I think it's worth it. And I think the amount of hours you're going to have to spend learning how to do accountancy. By the way, I'm not saying you shouldn't learn accountancy. I really do think you should learn how to understand accounts and read them and know them. We created the Fast Track FBA admin course, which talks about inventory management and accounting just for this purpose, is to really make sure you know what you're talking about when you're viewing your P&L, your accounting, your balance sheets, your end of month stock reports. We put that all together to help you out. It's like it's like really helping you and learn with your accounts and even VAT returns. But the concept comes is that even if you've got an accountant, you should know what you're doing. But I don't think long term, like you should learn it, like have an appreciation, understanding of what's going on at conceptual level and understanding how it works. But I don't think that you should be doing it day to day, because I think you'll add more value in your time per hour, spending time finding products, sourcing, building teams, building a business, than you would focusing on accounts. Hope that makes sense, Bruno. And let me know if you understand what I'm saying. But I get it. And the reason why I say that is because I just don't think, I think you'll make more money by selling products than you will saving the money. Like, you can only save money so far. You can make money to infinity. Like, even in the US, we spend $900 on accounting per month. If I learn all the money in accounting, or I learn it myself and do it myself, I could save $900. But if I improve my sourcing skills, I can earn $1,000 an hour. That's a very different, but it'll take me a lot more than 1 hour to do the accounting. Hope that makes sense. Zish, can you suggest the most appropriate tool for OA in your experience? We like SAS, SellerAmp, really good. Do check it out. I think it's a good tool. It has a lot of stuff. SellerAmp, fasttrackfba.com/tools. That'll help you out. Melinda, what's considered a successful annual profit rate for OA? Depends on your volume. Top tip, I think if you're doing 10% net margin, that's after everything, like take home on revenue, then I'd say you're okay. Like, if you're doing more than 10%, I'd probably call you quite successful. If you're doing less than 10%, okay, but the bigger you are, the lower it will get. Like in the UK, we probably do about 5%. In the US, we're probably running about 7 to 10. So like, that's what I'd kind of say. But if you talk about it this way, if you're doing 100K in sales, that's £10,000 net profit take home, which ain't bad for 3 hours a week. In the US, in the UK, 100,000 on sales would take home 5,000. Still not amazing, but definitely I'm not going to turn my nose up at 5,000 for 3 hours worth a week. We'd like 250,000 sales, so you can kind of do the math. But if you're doing like 3,000, you probably want less than 5,000 sales. You probably want to do that 15%, for example. And it depends if you're adding in cashback. Like, cashback should add a real big bonus on top of that, so that's going to help you as well. But I talk about net profits. Gross profits, it's quite hard, because if people don't include prep, it's a bit confusing. If people add in cashback, like, people manipulate gross profits all the time. Like, and at the end of the day, I don't really care what the gross profits are. I care about what the cash I can take home is. That's the important metric. Zishan, most effective way of getting wholesale accounts and brand distributors. Give them a call. Hi, can I have the account, please? Go through their application. Like, if you know the brand and distributor, just give them a call. That's fine. Melinda, do you support USA sellers, VA? Yeah. Like, I'd probably say 25-30% of our VAs we hire are for the US. Like, we have a lot of them. I think we've got VAs ready right now if you're in the US, ready for you. So do give us a call, and also we can answer that question. So US and UK. I think it's a really good question. I'm just going to quickly edit this. Can I change that? Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to edit that UK and USA. I should put flags in there. Save, click. Just updated it, UK and US. Good shout. Thank you, Melinda. Definitely getting call. 3 minute 30 call, 3 minutes 30 day call. You do there. You give them a call. Honestly, we can do that for you. Let's go through. I've got 25 minutes, guys. Drop your questions down below. I will answer them all. I promise you that. I promise you. Facebook user, hey Tommy. Hey Facebook user, good to see you. Let me know if you've got questions. Drop them down below. Ahmed, do you have some OA leads in the UK? We do. Today, like, Fast Track FBA leads, we've changed. We've now merged our teams together. We've got really big sourcing teams. We've moved over to a new platform. We've got more deals coming out than we've ever done before. And finally, also as well, reduced down the competition. UK leads, 5 sellers per lead, plus myself potentially. USA, 10 sellers per lead, plus myself potentially. That is it. We are currently going through beta of the new launch platform right now. Hopefully, question next week, we will go live. Do not quote me on that one. It might change depending on feedback. But next week, hopefully, we'll go live with a new OA lead service for Fast Track FBA. Watch this space. Manza, hi Tom. Last week we placed an order on the retail website, but they cancelled our order. How to minimize cancel? Give them a call, mate. Hey, I see you cancelled my order. Can I ask why? That's it. Like literally ask the question. Why? What happened? Why did we get cancelled? They're going to be like, you sold too many. Also, try another supplier. Like it won't. Like if it's like boots, it's not going to work. Just give them a call. Get on the phone. Give them a call. Hey, why did it get cancelled? That's the best bit of advice I can give you for cancelled orders. I really know that's a problem. Nomi, hey Tom, how much cash should you have before you think about getting a VA? I've got around 300. I'm on around 3,000 monthly sales. However, I'm not sure whether it can be a VA. So, long story short, you've done sales. You're good. Number two, let me ask you if you're profitable. So hopefully you're like looking at your numbers every month, going, yeah, I'm making money. Now, 3,000, I'd probably say you're on the lower end, like revenue. Like you can do it, but I don't know. Like it might be that you don't have enough time to do it, and hence why you want more deals. But what do I recommend? What cash? And really good question, by the way. Cash that you should have before you start hiring a VA in the UK should be 4,000 minimum, up to 10,000. More than 10,000, like you're fine. You probably get like if you got like 15,000, I'll get 2 VAs if you wanted to. But if you've got 4,000 in cash, and let me be clear, this isn't sales. This is cash on your credit cards and your bank. It might not be that you're actually like the cash is in the bank, but if you've got like a credit card of 10,000 available and you're only using 3,000 of it, well, you've got 7 left. And if every week for the last 5 weeks you've always got 7 left, then you're like, cool, like I've got more than Tom's 4,000, he says. That means I've got enough cash to invest in the VA's deals. The final one you want to think about is 1 hour a day you need free to spend with the VA. If you've got that, you're okay. So as long as you know what you're doing. And if you're not sure, fasttrackfba.com/VA, down the bottom here, you'll see it. Go on the website, book a free 30-minute call. My team will answer the question, exactly this question, and so many more that you may have, and to tell you if it's the right time. Look, we're not interested in like selling you a VA that you don't need, because what's going to happen, you're just going to get upset and it's going to cause problems. So like, we want you to make sure it's right for you and your business. If you have questions, book the free 30-minute call. Trust me, they're really, really good. Hope that makes it. Nomi, let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know down below. How risky is the OA model? What tools do you suggest for IP alerts? So we use Fast Track FBA brand checker. We list all the brands that we have. How risky is it? I don't know. Like, how risky is anything? There's risk, of course. I can't quantify it. We're doing 3.5 million a year in the UK, nearly 1 million a year in the US. I know people doing bigger than that, 10 million in the US, doing the model, and they're still selling. So there's risk. Like, I can't quantify that. Like, yeah, of course there's risk. There's risk for anything. Look at the business. 96% of all businesses fail within 5 years. That's a big risk. Right, let's go through here. JL, hi. Hey, JL. Thanks, no problem. Nomi's asked a question. How often do VAs get paid and how much do they get? Does it vary from VAB and how do they get paid? So we recommend 25,000 pesos, which is about £400, $500 per month. And we recommend you pay them twice per month. If you get a VA through the Fast Track FBA VA Academy, link down the bottom, we will literally tell you all the calculations you need to know, everything, like how much you should pay for the first one, how to do it most efficiently, how to code it on your tax, what to do, all that stuff. It's going to really help you out and answer any questions. So, and like, even if you're thinking about doing it yourself, I wouldn't. Just get it through us. There's so much support. We answer all the questions. At the end of the day, the time you'll spend finding the answers to the questions, you could go find deals. Like, you just cover the cost of the money. It's not worth it. It's £600, 850 US to go through us. Like, it's really cheap. But yeah, Nomi, I hope that answers your 2 questions. JL, I had a VA hired from Online Jobs PH. They had a 2-week trial, but they had a free VPN on by accident and with access to my Seller Central, no issues, but wondering if you could help me down the line. So long as your VA is a secondary user on your account, I hope, and I really hope to God, you've never ever given out your primary Seller Central account login details. If you have, change the password immediately, add the VA as a secondary user. Do not give out your primary account details. If you've done that, yes, you've got a big worry, but hence why I changed the password. Number two is, if you add them as a secondary user, it doesn't matter. Like free VPN, VPN not, doesn't matter. They're a secondary user. It shouldn't cause any problems at all. You know, I have like 40 people logged onto my account as secondary user. It's not the end of the world. Like, it really isn't. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Mub. Would Amazon block your account if you access your Seller Central account from abroad, live in the UK, or do you use a VPN? Thanks. No, they don't. I travel the world. Like, you know, if you follow my journey, like I've lived in the UK, I've lived in Vietnam, Thailand, Bali, I'm now in Mexico City. I've lived in Gran Canaria. I've been to Lithuania. I've traveled to the US multiple times. I reckon every month I'm in a different country or somewhere different other than my home. And even when I'm at home, I'm still moving around the city a lot, coffee shops, everything. Like, I don't VPN, and it doesn't cause a problem. The way you've got to think about it this way is when you log in, Amazon does a lot of checks. Doesn't, like, obviously it'll do the two-factor authentication, but it'll also check your IP, obviously one of them, but it'll also check your Chrome browser, like what Chrome extensions you have installed, what fonts, who you're logged in about, what account. Also look at your activity, what you do. Top tip for you, if you try and change your bank account details on Amazon when you're logged into a new location, it's going to cause us a block. So if you ever change your bank details, just make sure you do it from home. Like, don't go travel the world and do it whilst traveling the world. That's going to cause you a problem. But long story short, if you do normal activity, you'll be fine. But if you're like always at home in the UK, then you fly to France and then decide to change your bank details, that's going to look suspicious. So long story short, you'll be fine. Just be mindful of the activity you're doing. If it's normal, you'll be absolutely fine. Right, Faisal, thank you for purchasing VAs. How do you manage payments to suppliers? Do you give them your credit cards to input? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. There's a just type into Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. Type in admin VA. We mislabeled it, and it'll be the third. It's a 3-part series. You want the third one. The third one talks about how we hire them, how we train them, and how we manage them. About a 30-minute long video. The third of the 3-part series is the one you want, about purchasing managers, and we give them the credit cards. They have their own credit cards. You can set up your own credit cards, and like Capital on Tap, for example. In the US, it's a lot easier. But yeah, they'll have their own credit cards, and we track it. We also as well make sure that they have, like, our admin VA will be checking the credit card logs every day versus the purchase. And if there is a single transaction which we don't recognize, i.e. is not on the buy sheet, then they'll message my ops manager, and my ops manager will then suspend the card until we found out what's gone on, because we want to make sure either fraud or the purchasing manager isn't walking off with money. That's a big point. So I hope that makes sense. My name is Aegis. Hi, Aegis. Hi, Tom. We do around 80K a year by RA. Nice. No problem. But when it comes to OA, I can't find deals. Wondering why I struggle. Maybe top UK stocks are not that good, being scraped by software. Yeah, top tip. Long story short, I think you know this. Let's put it in the RA perspective. If you go to the same RA shops that everyone does RA, you'll probably find that those deals aren't very good, are they? But if you go to the other stores that no one else knows about, we know the ones, then obviously they're going to be good, and you do that. The same thing works on OA. If you're going to go to the same OA suppliers where all the scraping software goes, all the people go, the big ones, let's call it Argos, for example, then odds on you're probably not going to find good deals. But if you find some stores, or maybe some stores with voucher codes or something that no one else knows about, there you're probably going to find some good deals. Don't get me wrong, when you first started RA, it was probably a struggle. Like, you went in, the typical store, and like, there's no profit, or it didn't work, and then you started finding the stores that work. It took time. Exactly the same in the UK for like OA as well. Same in the US. The one thing I should say, the measure for you is I'd continue doing RA until you run out of time, but you have more money to spend. You got money in the bank, you run out of time, I need OA. Then what I'd probably do is then maybe look at hiring a VA to do the OA sourcing. Return on time, ROI on your time, is a lot worse at OA than it is RA. But what you can do is get your VA to go find the sourcing ones, and then come back and find you deals, and then you come back from your RA visits maybe an hour early and just buy the deals. Don't worry about finding the deals. That's a waste of your time. Hire someone else. But that's because you've got more money in your bank than you can spend doing RA. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't, Aegis down below. Lord C. Hello. I hope I can be part of your VA. FastTrackFBA.com, resources work for us. You can obviously apply, absolutely fine. I won't lie, we probably hire less than 0.5% a month, or 0.5% of our applicants. It's not easy. Like, we do want good VAs, but if you're a good VA, fantastic. Yeah, not a problem. JL. Also, do you think it would be smart to change your Amazon display name every month? Let's say to stop fraud from talking. Maybe, but it doesn't, like, possibly, but it doesn't work in the fact that if they keep the URL of your store, they can always find it regardless of the name. So it's up to you. You can change it. Doesn't matter. Ahmed G, tips to get an account. How do you mean accounts? Get an accountant. FastTrackFBA.com/tools. Look at my accountants. Like, we share the accountants on there. Find that. I hope that makes sense. Bruno, thank you so much for your response to my question. It does make sense. I'll check the course you mentioned as well. Thanks. Cool. No problem, Bruno. The other thing I'll say about the course as well, you get access to a weekly call with my admin VAs, so you can ask them questions. So like one of my admin VAs is always available at a set time every week. You can jump on a group call and just ask questions about like accounts. Here's what we're doing. And obviously we have accounts in the UK and the US, and I have 7 admin VAs now. They'll answer them. So I hope that makes sense. Right, let's jump through. Orgy, sorry. Okay, you got to say someone, let's talk. Fantastic, cool. You're talking to someone, cool. JL, do you include cashback in the ROI calculations, or do you look at cashback as an extra? Because sometimes the cashback doesn't track, and if it may not be getting a good deal if you initially thought. Yeah, long story short, we'll never do cashback. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't do calculations on cashback for ROI calculations. Gavin Sweeney, a good friend of mine, went for dinner with him the other day. He did mention, by the way, if he's going to get a 10% cashback, he will drop the ROI, drop the buy price by like 5%. So if he's getting 10% cashback, he'll drop the ROI by the buy price by 5%. If he's getting 5% cashback, he'll drop the ROI by 2.5%. Basically, he's always dropping the ROI by about half, or not the ROI. So if you're getting 10% cashback on your cost of goods, he'll reduce the cost of goods down by half of the cashback amount, is generally what he's saying. So that's kind of a metric. For me, we don't do that. Why? Because exactly what you said, it doesn't always track. And I think because it doesn't always track, is like you can't guarantee it. It does help, but we won't include it at the gross profit level or even the calculation for the product. Up to you. Your business. Do what you like. Zishan, can you suggest some wholesale brands for starting with FBA? Watch Me Amazon or Amazon Lit. Those two are like smashing it. Absolutely. They're like the wholesale gurus. Or, what's the other one? I forgot his name. I went and met the guy. Don't know. Todd Welch. Entrepreneurresource.com. He's a good guy, really good. I met him as well. Really good. Check that out. But I can't recommend wholesale brands because my God, it's like saying go find Disney, then everyone does Disney. Like, by the way, if anyone's telling you to go after a brand, don't do it. Like, it's like private label. Everyone's telling you to do garlic presses. Don't do it because that means that everyone's doing it. So you want to find something which no one else is doing. Competition is your enemy. Tactical arbitrage, do you recommend? We don't use it. People do use it, it does work. But generally, I've seen big top 7-figure sellers don't use that sourcing software. Facebook user, can you describe how to get set up with hazmat items to Amazon films or UPS? I think, don't quote me, you have to go to Amazon Seller Central, look at the help and type in hazmat restricted policy, or like there's a certain terminology. I would actually raise a case. Just go into Amazon Seller Central, raise a case and ask that exact question. They will give you the step-by-step guide you need to do. I think you need to apply for it. It's like the hazardous goods program. That's it, hazardous goods program. Google it on Amazon Help, and then you just have to apply, and then like 2 weeks later, they'll say, yeah, you're accepted, and that's it. You can only ship hazmat items through ground transport, so you might need to use a different provider from UPS sometimes. I don't know exactly. I'm not hot on it, but Amazon will tell you what you need to know through their help center. We've got 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. My voice is actually hurting. Right, Nomi, appreciate the answers, Tom. I do FBA from my shed at home address. Does the VA order stock to my address as normal and prep if I bought it? I don't have the scaled. Yeah, fine. Like, here's the interesting. The VA is going to find the deals. They don't even buy them. They find you the deals. Then you go and buy them and ship them. Like, I'm not saying this VA that you're going to hire tomorrow is going to find and buy. That's like the worst thing. Don't do that. Never have the same person finding and buying. Why? Because you have a different person finding and then a different person checking, checks and balances. If this person finds something that's a mismatch, they're just going to buy it and be like, yeah. The check person's going to go, no, it's a mismatch. You're going to reduce most of the mismatches. You should never really have. We don't have it in my business, and for this very reason, the same person finding is never the same person as buying. We always have different people to stop that exact problem. I've seen it too many times. But yeah, and then you'll do the buying and ship it to your shed. Absolutely fine. Enjoy. Do get some YouTube videos. Like, get it live. Do shed prepping. I love it. Right, Ross, on average, how much would an accountant charge per year, and what stage would you need when you're in the business? US, about $900 to $1,000 minimum. You can get them. I always talk about e-com specialist accountants because anyone can give you I'm just going to adjust this. Anyone can be an accountant, but Amazon's not the easiest one. I'm looking for good people. Remember I talked about that. I want someone to be in my corner. I want them to know what's going on. And if Amazon changes, they need to know that. If it's a normal bog standard accountant who's like, $50 to $100 or pounds a month, they're probably not going to know Amazon changes or like tax things. It's going to get really complex, and you're going to have to educate them on the problem. And you're like, that's why you're paying them to know it. If they don't know it, don't. So I'm talking about e-com specialist accountants, UK 150 to maybe 200 a month plus that. In the US, 900 to 1,000 minimum. I've seen them up to 3,000. They're not cheap in the US. Accountants in the US get paid a lot relative to the UK. UK is cheap. And you think about 150, 200, that's a lot. No, it's not. It's not. It's good value. Hope that makes sense. JL, the VA logged into the free VA PM with Seller Central. I just gave the details as the VA was trusted through the family center. You mentioned it's bad. No. Okay, so have you given, let's be crystal clear. If I log in as Tom at fasttrackfba.com into my Amazon Seller Central, that's my login for Amazon Seller Central. Have you given the VA that Tom at fasttrackfba.com, or have you logged in and gone up to the top right and clicked secondary users, add secondary user, and then added them as a secondary user so they have their own login? Basically, the question you want to ask is, have you given the VA your own username and password to your Seller Central account? If you've done that, that's very bad. Change your password immediately. Don't let that happen. Create a secondary user. If you've done the secondary user account, fine. No problem. VPN or not, doesn't matter. If bad, just change the password and add secondary. Yeah, do that. Change the password and add secondary user right now. And I'd also do this. Send yourself an email right now. Don't alert Amazon, but do send yourself an email of the dates when the VA logged in and logged out and you changed the password, just in case Amazon sends you a complaint. Don't poke the bear, but if the bear does come back to you and ask questions, you've now got an email to yourself that reminds you of the date and what happened and when you realized it was wrong and what you did about it. It's like Amazon will know, but they might not say anything yet. But if they come back in future and say, hey, I've had it whereby they've asked for an audit of my account, the users and their addresses, because of they think this has happened because I've traveled so much. And I said, no, not at all. This is all me. I travel. Here's where I've been. But for you, you haven't. It's very clear to Amazon if one day you're in, I don't know, the UK and then later on that afternoon you're in Pakistan, 3 hours later, you can't physically travel there. That causes an alert. So just be mindful, send yourself an email, record it, but don't tell Amazon yet. Only if Amazon come to you do you say it, but the email will help you out. I hope that makes sense. Why do VAs not do FBA themselves? It's because they're in a different country. A couple of things. Yeah, my God, don't get me wrong. It's a trade business. It's expensive. We talk about making you ideally want to start with at least £1,000 to start your product, if not 3,000. More money the better. I'm just going to do average wage. Let's just do average wage Philippines. Average wage in the Philippines in USD right now. And just Googled it. Is 308 USD. I'm not sure about you, but to get £1,000. Another one says 45,000 pesos. Let's call it £500. That's a whole month's wage just to get started. And by the way, £500 in OA for Amazon is really hard work. You've got to do so much work. We'd recommend doing OA. So it's a lot. They probably have to get 6 months' wages, invest it. I'm not saying people do it, of course, but the majority of them don't. And also, my God, a lot of people want a job, a job that can work from home rather than, should we say, they want the security of a job, but also with the benefits of working from home, not stuck in Manila traffic. This is perfect, absolutely perfect. Not everyone wants to be a business owner. I promise you that. So that's why not everyone does it themselves. It's risky. 5 minutes, guys. Drop your questions down below. Ross P. I'm currently not VAT registered. However, if I'm being charged that on fees, I contact them and this is that I need a letter from HMRC approving the sole trader service. But HMRC, they don't send this. HMRC do send you a letter for your unique taxpayer ID. That letter proves that you're a sole trader because you now have a self-employed ID. It's that taxpayer ID. That's your letter. Hope that makes sense, Ross P. So I'm not really sure what to do. Yeah, because you're now you have a tax. It's your UTR, unique taxpayer reference number, which means you can file yourself, and it'll be like your self-assessment tax returns, because your self-assessment tax returns allow you to operate as a sole trader. That's the one you're after. It's been I never did it. I always went limited company, but it'll be the UTR letter or the self-assessment tax return letter is the one that proves you're now a sole trader. That's it. My name is Aegis. Guys, we've got 4 minutes. Any final questions, drop it in 4 minutes. Honestly, I'm up to date. I'm on this. The last question. My name is Aegis. So I did mention I have problems finding deals away. Would it be smart to get a VA to find deals for me if I struggle myself? How would you advise her if I can't find deals? Yeah, great question. I think, look, the question for you is you've got to be able to find deals yourself. A sourcing VA will be able to find deals to the criteria we recommend, but if your criteria isn't working, like if you're looking at like 50% ROI, 20 sales per month, you know, like no competition, like you're going to really struggle. So long story short, you know, my business is only as good as I am. Now, don't get me wrong, you can go out there and buy or hire good VAs who are going to be able to find you better deals, but you're not going to be paying what you're getting from us. You're going to pay like $5,000 for them. And really, I don't think they even exist. Why? Because they are going to, think about it outside of sourcing. Let's say, for example, I'm a company, I'm called like, I don't know, IBM right now. If I've got a problem, I've got two options. I can hire someone who I train up to help solve the problem, or number two, I hire an expert who solved the problem already. Now, out the two options, the expert's going to cost a fortune, and I'm paying for an expertise. That's what I'm really paying for. I'm paying for the years of experience that they know what they're doing, which is what you're paying for in sourcing. The other one, I train up, is that I have to be the one who solves the problem and teach them how to do it. So for you, especially the VAs we do, the best analogy is they have 7 days training with us. They're straight out of university. They know what they're doing, but they don't have as much experience. You are going to be the one who has to support them in just really refining that experience towards your goals. So do make sure you are getting, you know, you can find profitable products. I hope that makes sense. And it might be worth looking at, you know, sourcing techniques, your deal criteria. That is a good idea to really help you out. Hope that makes sense. Let's jump through. Faisal, oh, can you get purchasing VAs through Fast Track? Unfortunately, we don't. No, we don't do it at all, like, because it's really hard. Like, we'll talk about it into next year, but not right now. How do you recommend to promote the best sourcing VA? And I don't want to risk losing that skill set. Don't promote the best sourcing VA. Look, watch that video. You know, Fast Track FBA YouTube channel. I can probably find it for you. I shared it the other day. Someone asked this question. Long story short, I'll find it later on perhaps. It's type in admin VA under Fast Track FBA videos, and then look for there's a 3-part, 1, 2, 3 part. You want the third one, that'll talk about it. Long story short, watch all 3 of them. It's really helpful. Long story short is you're not looking for the best sourcer. You're really not. When you're doing purchasing VA, you're not looking for the best sourcer. You are looking for the sourcer who has the least number of bad deals or rejected deals. Why? Because if your best sourcer finds 20 great deals of which you reject 10 of them, so half, and you keep 10, okay, cool. But if you have another one who finds only 8 deals of which you reject 1, well, that means you get 7. Well, interesting, if 7 is less than 10, but let's be crystal clear here. When you're purchasing, your goal isn't to find, when the role of the purchaser is not to find good deals, the role of the purchaser is to buy good deals. And your measure of success is to think about, with your training, you're only going to be able to improve that metric. Your top sourcer right now has a 50% good deal finding rate. The other one has a, kind of like 87% good finding rate. With your work, you can only improve them by, like, let's say, for example, an extra 10 percentage points. Well, this goes to 97, this goes to 60%. So that means 40% of the deals that they're buying are going to be bad deals. That's really bad. This one means that 7 or like 6% of the deals are going to be bad deals. That's much better. You're not looking for the best sourcer, you're looking for the one with the most accuracy. That's the measure of success. And really, you're probably looking for leadership skills as well, who can talk, who can communicate. It's like, I've done it. I've actually promoted, because they've requested it, my best sourcer up to purchasing manager. She hated it, absolutely hated it. Step back down again. Absolutely fine, no problem. But just don't do it. It's a really bad, bad thing. Like, hope that makes sense. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It is up to the hour. I just want to say thank you. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and obviously do let me know if you do guys want a VA, fasttrackfba.com/VA. We do have some available right now. You can book a free 30-minute call. Trust me, it's going to help you out. But what I will say is hopefully you like this. Join me again same time next week up here, and hit the like button, and I'll see you to it. Stay safe, everyone. Keep smashing your business. Bye-bye.